You can win football games by running the football, but you can't win playoff games or meaningful games by doing that. Let's get into Friday's rant, y'all. What's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on, NFL world? How you doing, Division Rivals? This is Steven Hyder, Kansas City Sports Channel. Sports Channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. Today's topic. Let's talk about this idea. I'm not calling people crazy for saying that, but I am saying that sometimes I think context can get lost and people make assumptions. But I think people are really focusing on Lamar Jackson and the Ravens offense and seeing their struggles in the postseason and then putting that burden on this Philadelphia Eagles team.
We're forced to punt. Jackson tosses high and intercepted. And Jackson is going to come up short. Jackson turns and floats it. Dropped.
And truth be told, there are other models to follow to where there is some pretty good success rate by running the football. Now, ultimately, am I saying that this is a deep playoff contending football team? No. No, I'm not. I don't think we have witnessed the proof in the play yet to quite make those claims. But we're trending towards something that could be exciting to watch for a young football team. Just stick with me for 1 second. My point here is if we win this game at home on Sunday versus the Saints, and we can get our record up to 5-6, with the schedule we have remaining, this becomes very favorable in terms of the odds for the Eagles to make a playoff push, a run towards the playoff with a really young football team. That's the point I'm making here. Let's get to the point of this conversation. Deep playoff football games and whether or not you can win them with the running game. Let's go back to the 2010 era and let's talk about two separate San Francisco 49er football teams. They both were led by the running game. In 2012, you got Colin Kaepernick, and you had this very much college-centered offense that's based around RPOs and zone read option and things like that went all the way to the Super Bowl and ultimately ended up losing to the Baltimore Ravens. That was the very beginning and the origins of when we started seeing a mass expansion into 11 personnel and a little bit more pass-centric offense, right? It was kind of getting to almost the golden age of that occurring. Now fast forward to 2019, and now you got Kyle Shanahan and Jimmy Garoppolo and just a host of, who's that running back? Raheem Mostert, and who are all these people that keep producing for this football team? This is another example of a run-centered offense and just how well Kyle Shanahan was able to adapt this offense late in the postseason when Jimmy Garoppolo couldn't hit a pass to save his life. Ultimately, both of those teams, they came up short in the end, no doubt about it. But those were really good late January football teams, to be quite honest. Go back to the early 2000s, and I know completely different era of football, guys. Granted, I understand that point. Go all the way back to the early 2000s, and you have this greatest show on the turf offense coming in here.
They haven't run the football yet.
The Rams' pass-first mentality was their trademark.
Kurt Warner at quarterback. You know, you got Isaac Bruce, and you got Torrey Holt. You got Marshall Faulk. You got this crazy explosive offense, right? That was predicated, it was some balance to it. It wasn't like it was all pass, but it was predicated on the pass. And then in walks a young Tom Brady in a New England Patriots team that does not have the quarterback play to challenge you with 40-plus passes in a game. They won through the run. They won through defense. To me, this isn't a matter of, can you win through running the football game? It's can you complement it? Can you complement it? Do you have a good enough defense to complement it? Can you make the big plays you need to make offensively in those 20 to 30 passes if you go to a more balanced offensive approach, right? So if you're going to be somewhat run heavy and you're only going to get 20 to 30 opportunities through the passing game, you have to execute them, and they have to result in some pretty big plays.
Terrific start to this quarter. Hurts. Looking. Going deep. Down the far sideline. It is to the...
Guys, I can't prognosticate the future. I'm not Nostradamus. I'm not here to try to make those kind of predictions. I'm only bringing you previous evidence of what we've seen going, trying to analyze the situation we have here. In my opinion, this is the best football team on the field we've had in a little while. I'm not calling it the 2017 team, guys, but I honestly feel like from the offensive line play and how this running game complements it, to the growth of a young quarterback, to helping a defense come along as it kind of adjusts and gets used to itself, this is the very best way of putting out a competitive football team we have currently. And I'm just along for the ride. I don't know where it's going to end, guys, but I do think that you can win football games in the playoffs with a run-heavy football team. I do think that that's a bit of a myth. With that said, guys, I appreciate y'all's time and attention, and I know people are going to talk about the Russell Wilsons and the Aaron Rodgers and all these other, all the other teams out there. Patrick Mahomes the last couple of years. We'll see, guys. We'll see. All I can say is that Tampa Bay had a pretty good running game last year and an aging quarterback. Great team around it, though. Yes, they had great wide receiver play, guys. But there was a little bit of balance to their season, and that balance kind of saved their season when they were at the midpoint, and they were pretty much a mediocre football team last year. So, I don't know. Ultimately, only time will tell. I appreciate y'all's time and attention, guys, and I will see y'all in the next video.